Cool.
All right, welcome to the Holistic Kids Show. My name is Zane.
My name's
And
Abdullah.
my name's Iman.
We're the Holistic Kids here to educate us kids from the inside out. There are some things that are common sense.
What is common sense?
Well, common sense is knowledge that all humans have. Like animals don't drive cars. That is common sense.
Are you sure about that?
Maybe some trained ones, but not wild animals. Did you know that healing can also be common sense?
Really?
Yeah. If that was common sense, why are most kids healing? Because people don't really think that healing is common sense, right? Because to everyone else it's so complicated. You have to go on a diet, but it's just so easy. But because we have made things way too complicated, and today we are in luck to be talking to a guest that will help us understand common sense tips to heal our bodies and prevent disease now and in the future. Simple tips that can transform your health.
We are so honored to be speaking to Miss Dani Williamson. My mom can't stop talking about her. So who is she?
Well, Dani Williamson MSN, a family medicine nurse practitioner who owns Integrative Family Medicine and Wild and Well, a wellness emporium in Franklin, Tennessee. She focuses on gut health, autoimmune thyroid diseases, and hormone and adrenal health, and her patients' hormone and her patients. Her approach embodies a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual process to healing. She believes that God designed our bodies to heal themselves. We simply must give our bodies what they need. That is where we are so in line with. We love that.
Love that.
She completely reversed 24 years of chronic lifestyle diseases by healing her gut and building her immune system. Dani incorporates the art of medicine by balancing traditional and integrative therapies. Dani encourages her patients to step out of the realm of normal and reach optimal health. And she is also a sought out after speaker at various conferences and workshops where she's led discussions on gut, adrenal, thyroid, hormone, and brain health. And her first book, Wild and Well, Dani's 6 Common Sense Steps to Radical Healing, was released on November 9th, 2021, just last year, by Morgan James Publishing. She believes that your health is not rocket science, but common sense, and healing shouldn't be either. We are so honored to have you here today.
No, thank you guys. The honor is all mine. I've been so excited about this all week long to talk to you all.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure.
So, how did you go from a nurse physician to this worldwide speaker and book writer?
Well, I'm not a worldwide speaker, but that would be nice. We just
National.
projected that out to the universe. So we're going to say that I'm a worldwide speaker. But I actually, I grew up. So how did I get into being a nurse practitioner and writing this book? Well, actually, I grew up in Western Kentucky and a lot of childhood trauma. I had a lot of trauma. I had, and through that trauma, I had a lot of chronic diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, itching, lots of things. I had my first colonoscopy when I was 20 years old, and I've had 4 colonoscopies before I was 44. I was diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia in my 30s, and I was really sick. And it took me 24 years of seeing doctors, 24 years, 10 doctors, before a doctor ever leaned into me and said, Dani, what are you eating Don't you know your diet controls your disease? And it turned my entire world around 11 years ago. I had just gotten out of nurse practitioner school and just started practicing as a nurse practitioner. I was 40 years old when I went back to school. So it turned my entire world around. So I started learning about functional medicine and integrative medicine. And it boiled down to, whoa, what's at the end of your fork will heal you or kill you. Simple as that. There's no in between, right? It's common sense, practical medicine. Common sense, practical medicine. And I turned my entire world of autoimmune disease, lupus, IBS, fibromyalgia, all kinds of things going on with me, turned it around 100%, turned it off by controlling what was at the end of my fork and by practicing common sense, practical medicine. And that's how I wrote the book. And that's how I practice in my office. I talk about, and the book talks about, I have 6 steps: eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well, de-stress well, and cultivate community, which you guys are creating beautifully here. Cultivate community well. Those are my 6 common sense steps to radical healing. So, and I wrote a book. I wrote a book on it because I see patients one-on-one, and I had a really good friend of mine said, Dani, you need to write a book on your journey of healing and how you help patients heal common sense wise. So I wrote the book, and it became a bestseller last year. So like your mom's books. So I'm not quite there yet like your mom, but I'm hoping to get there. So that's what I do. But what I first do is I address with my patients the childhood trauma. So I didn't grow up in a stable home like you all are growing up in, right? I didn't grow up with, mom cooking meals every day, and my parents were divorced. My mom was married 3 times. She had some mental health issues. She died. She tried to die by suicide, attempted suicide multiple times. Her father had died by suicide before I was born. There was a lot of trauma in my childhood. And what we know about childhood trauma now is that what happens to you before the age of 18 can set you up for a lifetime of chronic disease. And no one had asked me, what happened to you at home, Dani? Why do you have chronic diarrhea? Why are you diagnosed with IBS? What happened to you? And when I learned about childhood trauma, and like your mom just said, more than 2/3 of children report at least one traumatic event by age 16. I mean, it is the American Academy of Pediatrics, guys, says that this adverse childhood experience, childhood trauma, is the single largest public health crisis that we have missed in the United States. We do not address it. And so when I started dealing with that, and I started addressing my childhood trauma on myself, and I started addressing it with patients, guess what? It started turning their entire world around, combined with common sense medicine, right? Eating well, sleeping well, moving well. But your body, guys, and you all don't know this yet, your body keeps the score of what happens to you. Because you're born, most of us, aren't we, happy, healthy, and whole? And we're healthy. And we turn on these chronic lifestyle diseases, things like depression and anxiety and high blood pressure and lupus and autoimmune disease. I wasn't born with any of that. It was turned on through the trauma. Something I hope you guys don't ever experience. But, like your mom said, 2/3 of children age 16 and by age 16 report at least one traumatic event in their life.
That is horrible.
Horrible.
And it's such
Horrible.
a big issue that kids are dealing with today.
Absolutely. And think about it. Think about the pandemic and what we've gone through, what these children have gone through now, being isolated at home, having to, everything's online now. And we have, not only do we have a worldwide pandemic, we have a worldwide mental health pandemic as well. I am on the board for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention here in Tennessee. Do you know that phone calls to suicide crisis lines are up 800% during the pandemic?
Wow, more than 100.
That's way more than 100.
That's way more than 100. And that is heartbreaking. The fastest growing rate of suicide for people is age 10 to 24. That's horrible. Age 10 to 13, this is the fastest growing section inside that. We can't have that. We have to address the childhood trauma. We have to. And then we address that, and then we work on our common sense steps to radical healing, right?
Right.
You all know this. What you eat gives you life or takes it away, doesn't it?
Yep.
Do you feel terrible when you eat horrible food, when you eat inflammatory? And you may not ever do that. I grew up eating.
I haven't done that in like 5 years, but probably if we did, yes.
But don't you feel better now?
Yes.
Yes, way better.
Yes. So, I'm just a real advocate for keep it simple, keep it easy. Like, I can't control what happened to my patient's in my patient's childhood. I can't control what happened to my childhood, but I can work on the mental health side of that, right? So what I can get therapy, I can have, meditation, yoga, hypnosis. I mean, I can go through all kinds of therapy, which I have done, and I can help my patients do that. And once you start addressing that trauma, you start to unwind and unloosen all the other things that are going on in your body. Your body keeps score. So what I do with my patients is I start them out eating well and educating them about gluten and dairy and sugar and inflammatory processed packaged bagged foods, things like that. They don't realize that their gut and their brain are 100% connected, do they?
Yeah, they don't.
Isn't that something?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And with this pandemic, mental health issues in kids are on a rise.
Yes.
But why is it easier to be sick, but really hard to be healthy? And why is health something weird and too complicated to get to?
Oh, goodness. That's a hard question right there. Well, it is always easier to be sick than it is to get healthy because we are not taught by our healthcare providers, right, how to truly get to the root cause. And we are so emotionally connected to food. We eat the same foods over and over and over again. So think about it. If we're thinking about mental health issues on the rise, if we're thinking about childhood trauma, maybe the kids are not in the middle of a traumatic childhood, but we have the pandemic that's got them isolated and their friends isolated. So again, it's easier to do what we've always known. And as children, when I was a child, you're not in control of your diet, are you? You're not in charge of buying the food. Are you Ubering it out to Kroger or Whole Foods and getting food? No. And so if the parents aren't on board, it's very difficult, isn't it? And so no one wants to be sick, but I think the problem is many of us don't know how to get out of the hole that we've dug ourselves in if we don't have support at home, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talked about your 6 common sense steps to radical healing. Do those steps help to deal with the bad effects of trauma?
Absolutely. So eating well, that's my first step, right? eating well. When you heal the gut, you begin to heal the brain. And when a child or a grown-up has trauma, any trauma, their gut's on fire, their brain is on fire. When you heal the gut, the anxiety, the depression, the bipolar, the ADD, ADHD, OCD, all the psych issues get better. It's a one-way, bi-directional, two-directional connection here. Gut, brain. So that's huge, huge. I tell patients to cut out gluten, dairy, soy, corn, sugar, eggs, and peanuts initially. We cut out the processed packaged foods to begin to cool the brain down, cool the gut down. And once they start feeling better physically, then we can start working on the emotional side of this. But when you feel so bad physically, and you guys don't know this because you don't feel like this, it's very difficult to do the other things that you need to do. So healing the gut begins to heal the brain. And we want one ingredient food. Remember, I'm a common sense, practical medicine girl. One ingredient food, like a piece of chicken, some salmon, broccoli, cauliflower, strawberries, blueberries, all the beautiful colors of the rainbow. Those are one ingredient foods. But we also are designed for diversity. We eat the same food over and over again, don't we? And we are yes, we do. And we are designed for diversity. And we're designed to eat in season. Like right now is springtime. So all the lettuces and all those things like that are coming in, and we're getting ready to have all the in-season food for spring and summer. We should attempt to eat one ingredient, God-made, beautiful food that's loaded with colors in season, ideally, and not processed, packaged, bag. Get your food out of somebody's drive-through window. When's the last time you guys got food out of somebody's drive-through window? Probably never in years.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I don't even.
That's right. So yes, eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well. So sleep well. Think about this. When you can't sleep, when you don't sleep, it's difficult to eat well and move well and decrease stress. Your body heals when you sleep, doesn't it? And so are you guys good sleepers? Do you sleep good?
Yeah.
Mostly.
Pretty good? Yeah, I do too. I'm a good sleeper. So we have to get people sleeping. Your body heals when you sleep. That's when your body detoxes. That's when your brain detoxes, is when you sleep at night. So we get people sleeping. We make their room a sanctuary, right? And kids who are going through trauma, and a lot of kids, and a lot of teenagers and adults, they sleep with their phone in their bedroom or right there beside their bed. Well, that's not good. When you sleep with this phone right here beside your bed, it's putting out a lot of electromagnetic fields, a lot of energy that keeps you up at night. We want your bedroom to be clean and cool, and the bed is for sleeping only. That's it. That's all we do in the bed. Okay. We don't watch our computers and things like that. So we get our bodies sleeping, and then we get our bodies moving. Common sense, eat well, sleep well, move well. Your body is designed to move, isn't it? It's designed to exercise. You feel better when you move. When you sit in these chairs all day, you don't feel well. And we know that depression is better, anxiety is better when you move your body. We're designed to move. And I tell people every day, you don't have to go to CrossFit. You can go anywhere and exercise. You can do hula hooping. We're getting ready to have a hula hoop class at my office. Have you guys ever hula hooped?
Yes.
You can't help but laugh when you hula hoop. It's hilarious. So I don't care if you're skipping, hula hooping, rollerblading, ballroom dancing, belly dancing. I don't care. I just need you moving your body. Common sense. Eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well. When you are eating well and sleeping well and moving well, you're more likely to go to the bathroom better. And we are designed to poop, aren't we?
Yes, 100%.
Otherwise, childhood trauma, a lot of people, I had diarrhea, but a lot of people lock down there and they're very constipated. and they don't go to the bathroom. And so we get people going to the bathroom. And when you start addressing the trauma, oftentimes people do start going to the bathroom. But we also have to make sure we're hydrated, right? Common sense. You have
Yes.
to drink enough water. If you're dehydrated, you will not poop, period. And you're supposed to, do y'all have a dog? Do you have a dog?
No.
No. Well, you're supposed to poop like a dog does. They eat and they go and poop, not much longer. So, they do that a few times a day. So common sense, eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well, de-stress well. Very difficult when you're dealing with trauma and trauma patients for them to, you know what it's like to have stress with school, right? Sometimes. Yes. And so when you live in that constant state of stress, like a childhood trauma patient does, or even an adult trauma who's in an abusive relationship or abusive job or something, they're constantly stressed and their cortisol levels are just raging through the roof. So we have to find ways to de-stress, right? To de-stress. Is that meditation? Is that exercise? Is it having, going out and meeting your friends somewhere? So we really work on stress because stress depletes your body of everything, of your energy, your minerals, everything. And so it's real important. And then cultivating community. That's my 6th step. Do you guys have good community?
Yes, we definitely do.
You feel better when you're with your friends and when you're laughing and you're just belly laughing and just having a great time? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we're all about community, cultivating community, getting your people together, whether it's your church group or your work community or your guy friends or your girlfriends. And when you have community, do you know that we are the loneliest society we've ever been? And think about it. A big piece of that is from, what's happened the last couple of years. So that's how I work with that is eat well, sleep well, move well, poop well, de-stress well, cultivate community. Those are my 6 steps that I work with patients with while we are addressing the childhood trauma that may have brought them into my office to begin with, but they don't realize it yet.
That is so inspiring.
Inspiring.
What foods can help you heal the gut and the brain?
Oh, goodness. Lots of things with protein, right? So good protein foods like chicken and salmon, which has got lots of omegas 3s and 6s in it, and really good protein. If we're talking about gut and brain together, healing the gut and the brain, fresh, 1-ingredient foods, good proteins, good phytonutrients, all the colors of the rainbow, right? Your dark berries, actually, a little dark chocolate is good for the brain as well. Not everybody loves dark chocolate, but fresh,
We love dark chocolate.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Most kids don't like dark chocolate.
Most kids don't, do they? But you guys are not most kids. Clearly, you have a podcast.
I'm an adult.
Yes, I can tell. You're probably more mature than me, for sure.
What are other things that can help a kid overcome the effects of trauma?
Yeah, that's really good. Talking about it, which is very, very difficult. When I shared my story of trauma with my tribe, I really began to start to heal. When you share your story, other people get to come alongside you and walk with you to help you heal. But that's very difficult for a child, isn't it? It's very difficult.
Yes.
But I do believe that telling someone, like we're talking about a child, telling someone, somehow getting yourself into therapy and talking it out. And again, eating as clean as they can. But when we're talking about children, it's a lot more difficult because they're not in charge. They're not in charge of getting themselves therapy. They're not in charge of their diet. They're not in charge of so many things. And they can almost be helpless. So it takes getting the parents on board, which is difficult, isn't it, if they're growing up in trauma. But even one parent, if you could talk to one parent, and that is definitely going to help you overcome trauma.
That is amazing.
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 So, what is one thing kids can do today to boost their way to radical healing?
Oh my goodness. Well, just something that a kid can do that doesn't involve having to have a parent and all that stuff around. I can tell you right now, getting outside, getting fresh air, right? Getting your feet to the earth, your face to the sun. Do you know about grounding and earthing? And
Yes.
yes, right. So I've got an 8-month-old poodle laying right here beside me. You can't see him, but dogs and cats and pigs and horses and cows and all the animals, the majority of them do not have anxiety. They may have some trauma in their life, but they don't have anxiety. You want to know why? One of the reasons?
Why?
Why?
They don't wear shoes. They don't wear shoes. They have their feet to the earth, their face to the sun, and they literally lay on the ground. The whole study of forest bathing and being in the forest and being outside, I'm telling you, your cortisol levels lower, and when you're outside in nature, feeling the negative ions of that earth, that is something that I didn't know as a kid. I would have been outside with my shoes off nonstop. And that's easy for a kid to be able to do that, right? They can get outside. I mean, most children can get outside and just relax on God's earth. I'm a big fan of that.
Wow. Thank you so much. This was such a powerful interview. We learned so much about de-stressing, sleeping, earthing, grounding,
Pooping.
That's right. So here's the thing. It's not that complicated. And if we're going through trauma, whoever's listening to this, reach out for help, for sure, to someone. Or if you feel suicidal, which I just went completely blank on the suicide crisis line. Yes, right there. You can text 741-741. That is the National Suicide Crisis text line. And you can text home, help, anything. They will immediately reply to you. 741-741. The crisis line is 800-273-8255. 24/7, 365 days a year. Someone is there to answer your call. Reach out for help. And here's one thing, guys. People who are going through trauma, people who may be depressed, you personally may be the only person who asks them, "Are you okay? Is something wrong? You seem like you're not okay." Be the person who asks the hard questions to your friends or to your coworkers, because it could be you that turns their entire world around. Just know that. But this is not rocket science, and we are designed to be happy, healthy, and whole. And when you get your when you get your diet in order and your stress in order and you work on moving your body and sleeping, things start to come together. They do. But the trauma is a big piece of this that I think we've missed. And the fact that you guys are addressing it is so important. I am so thrilled to get to talk about that, because it's really important, especially now more than ever.
That was amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you for something so simple that can be so powerful.
Common sense.
You're welcome.
So where can people learn more about you and your amazing work? We love the title of your book, of course, and your course.
Thank you. Oh, the title of my course. Okay. DaniWilliamson.com, DANI Williamson.com has everything on there. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is all Dani Williamson Wellness, but you can get there from the website. Sign up for our newsletter. We have a great newsletter. You get a free swapping list. The book, the course is Inflammation is the Devil. We lowered the price. We lowered the price to $29 for your people, $29. Inflammation is the Devil. It's a great course on healing inflammation and the root causes of inflammation. So, and the book is available everywhere you buy books, anywhere you buy, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, all of that. Go ask your library to bring it, to get it in. That would be fabulous. It's a good book and it's full of common sense, practical medicine steps. Easy to do. The first entire part of the book, guys, is on trauma. And you are not your past. I am living proof you can overcome anything that happened to you.
That is amazing and so inspiring.
So inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I think you all are inspiring.
It's our pleasure.
It's our pleasure. Everyone, make sure to follow Miss Dani on social media and get her book today. It's a must have in every household. Thank you so much, Miss Dani.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. Next time you guys get to Nashville, you have your mom come bring you down and say hello.
Okay.
Okay. So let's recap Miss Dani's key points.
More than two-thirds of children reported at least one traumatic event by age 16. And that's a huge issue. Kids are dealing with today. This is a problem that we need to address. By these simple common sense steps, we can radically heal. You are not your past. First of the common sense steps: eat well. When you heal the gut, you begin to heal the brain. Cut out processed packaged foods like gluten, dairy, sugar, eggs, soy, peanuts, and so much more. Focus on ingredient foods that God made, like chicken, strawberries, blueberries, fruits, vegetables, all animals, any kind of food that's natural and from the earth. Make sure to increase the different types of food you're eating and eat in season. And also eat of the color of the rainbow. Red apples, you got oranges, you got yellow bananas. There's such a big variety. And eat good healthy fats and good protein at each meal. We love dark chocolate.
Yep, we do.
Number 2, sleep well. When you can't sleep, it is very difficult to decrease stress. Your body heals when you're asleep. That is when your brain and body detoxes. The bed is for sleeping only, and try to keep your electronics away.
Yes.
Move well. Your body is designed to move, and you will feel so much better when you move, exercise, and play. Poop well.
Poop well. When you are eating, sleeping, and moving well, you will be pooping well. Make sure you drink your water so you can poop like a dog.
That's the best right there. I wish I could say that.
I never thought I'd heard someone say that, but
I know, that's fantastic. Poop like your poodle. That's what.
De-stress well. Find ways to distress. Stress depletes your body of everything. We love to play outdoors, and be as mindful as we can. And we love to ground.
Yes.
And commune well. Get together with those that will lift you up, and make sure to find someone to talk about your story and will help you heal. Always ask your friends how they are doing, because if no one else is gonna do it, someone has to do it. If you are suffering, make sure to reach out for help. Parents work with us and get on board to help us live our healthiest. We want to be healthy, so please help us to be healthy.
Thank you again, Miss Dani. We know you're so busy, so your time with us was a huge honor for us.
A huge honor.
Huge honor.
Oh, thank you. It was an honor for me as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much again. Thank you for tuning. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Zansari.
I'm Abdullah.
And I'm Imad.
Follow my family and I on social media, Holistic Mom MD, and look out for my mom's book, The Holistic RX, Your Guide to Healing Chronic Inflammation and Disease. And our mom, we are so excited to announce our mom's new books that came out last year. The Holistic RX for Kids, Parenting Healthy Brains and Bodies in a Changing World. And the amazing children's book we wrote together called Adam's Healing Adventure, The Power of Rainbow Food. So check it out on Amazon. Yay! We have a special gift for everyone listening because we're almost at our 2-year mark. We want to gift you all a special dessert cookbook. We know most kids love sweets. We put our favorite recipes just for you in a book just for you. Check it out in the description of this podcast.
Wherever it is.
Kids need to learn from other kids. Please download our podcast in iTunes and leave a review so other kids and families can benefit. We need to work together to create a healthier future for all of us and the planet. Join us next week for another episode of the Holistic Kids Show, where kids are empowering kids. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
See ya. Thank you.